Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something right now. Men don't just wake up one morning and fall in love. No. That's not how we work. A man's heart is wired different. We might notice a pretty face. We might chase after a fine figure. But love, real love, that doesn't kick in until something powerful happens first. A man may be drawn in by what he sees, but he doesn't fall in love just because of looks. Looks might grab his attention, but they don't hold his heart. What really makes a man fall is respect. See, if a man doesn't respect you, he can't love you in a way that lasts. Respect is the foundation that everything else is built on. Without it, the relationship is just standing on sand, and when the storm comes, it all falls apart. A man needs to see that you are a woman who values herself, who carries herself with dignity, and who sets a standard for how you want to be treated. That's when he pauses. That's when he says, hold on, she's different. Respect makes him rethink his approach. It makes him step up instead of play around. Men can be stubborn, they can be proud, but when they meet a woman they respect, it humbles them. It makes them want to do better, to be better. Respect tells a man that he cannot come to you any kind of way, and it forces him to rise to the level you set. A man may admire your beauty, but he falls for the way you command respect without even saying a word. The way you walk into a room, the way you handle situations with grace, the way you don't let anyone cross the lines you've drawn, that makes him see you as someone worthy of his heart. Respect is also about how you respect yourself. If you don't value who you are, if you let anybody treat you any kind of way, a man will see that and he won't give his best. Men fall in love when they realize you won't tolerate less than what you deserve. That standard forces him to rise or step aside. And if he truly wants you, he will rise. That's when his feelings start to shift from simple attraction to real love. But because when a man respects you, he fears losing you. And when he fears losing you, he cherishes you differently. Respect makes a man think about the future. He doesn't just see a moment with you. He starts to imagine years with you. He starts to consider how you'd fit into his purpose, his family, his vision of life. That's why some men date plenty of women, but only commit when they meet one who commands their respect. Because respect makes him want to tie himself to you in a permanent way. It's not about control. It's not about demanding. It's about presence. A respected woman has a presence that shifts a man's spirit. He can be wild out in the streets, but when he thinks of her, it pulls him back. He can be careless with other women, but with her, he measures his words and actions. Why? Because he knows she is not replaceable. Respect is rare, and when a man finds it, he doesn't want to risk losing it. The truth is, men don't love without respect because respect is what makes them trust. It's what makes them commit. It's what makes them open up in ways they normally wouldn't. A man will share his secrets, his dreams, his weaknesses only with the woman he respects. That's when you see a different side of him, a softer side, the side he hides from the world. And when he reveals that side, that's proof he's not just interested, he's in love. Respect shapes how a man shows up for you. He'll go from casual to consistent, from careless to careful. He'll plan for you, provide for you, protect you, all because he respects you. Without respect, love never gets past the surface, but with respect, love grows roots so deep that nothing can shake it. And that's the truth about men. They don't fall in love unless respect comes first. A man might look tough, act strong, and carry himself like nothing bothers him, but deep down, he has a craving that's often unspoken. He needs admiration. He wants to feel like the woman he loves is proud of him, believes in him, and sees him as more than just another man walking this earth. Attraction may draw him close, but admiration is what makes him stay, what makes him fight for you, what makes him fall deeper than he ever planned. When a man feels admired, it feeds his soul in ways money, status, or anything else never could. Men are raised to be providers, protectors, to carry weight on their shoulders. The world demands results from them, but rarely gives them appreciation. That's why when a woman steps in and shows admiration, it hits differently. It's not flattery. It's not fake praise. It's the genuine recognition of who he is and what he does. A simple, "I'm proud of you" can light a fire in a man's spirit that pushes him to climb higher mountains. And when he feels that energy from you, it ties his heart to you because you become the person who makes him feel seen. When a man feels admired, he doesn't just see you as a partner. He sees you as the person he wants to win for. You become his cheerleader, his inspiration, his safe space. You become the one he wants to hear from when he succeeds and the one he runs to when he fails, because your admiration gives him the courage to get back up again. A man can have the whole world clapping for him, but if the woman he loves isn't proud of him, he'll feel empty. On the other hand, he can be struggling, overlooked by everyone else, but if she admires him and sees his effort, he feels like he can conquer anything. Admiration changes how a man invests himself in love. A man who feels admired is more loyal, more attentive, and more generous because he doesn't just want to keep you, he wants to keep earning that admiration. It makes him hold himself to a higher standard, not because you demanded it, but because you inspired it. And when he looks at you, he doesn't just see someone beautiful, he sees someone who believes in him. And that belief pushes him to be the best version of himself. There's a power in admiration that many don't realize. It isn't about stroking his ego or pretending he's perfect. It's about noticing the little things he does and letting him know you see them. When he fixes something around the house, when he works long hours to provide, when he takes care of his responsibilities. Acknowledging those things makes him feel valued. And when a man feels valued, that's when he loves the deepest. Because love without admiration feels hollow to him, but love with admiration feels like purpose. Men don't always say it out loud, but they long for a woman who looks at them like they're more than just a paycheck, more than just muscle, more than just someone passing time. They want to be admired for their character, their effort, their growth. And when a woman gives that, it cements her place in his heart. He may date many women, but he will only truly fall for the one who makes him feel like a king. Not because he demanded it, but because she sees the king inside him even before the crown. The truth is, admiration makes a man want to love harder. It makes him want to protect you, provide for you, and give you his all. Because when you admire him, you're not just feeding his pride, you're feeding his spirit. And when his spirit is fed, his love grows roots so strong that nothing can shake it. That's why men don't just fall in love by accident. They fall in love when they meet a woman who admires them, who believes in them, and who shows them that they are worthy of being loved back just as deeply. Men walk around every day carrying the weight of the world on their backs. They're expected to be strong, to never crack, to keep their problems bottled up, and keep moving forward no matter how heavy the load gets. Society tells men not to cry, not to complain, not to show weakness, and so they build walls. Those walls are thick, and most people never get through them. But when a man meets a woman who makes him feel emotionally safe, those walls start to come down, and that's when love begins to take root. Emotional safety means he can be himself without fear of being judged, mocked, or rejected. A man might walk into the world with armor on, but deep down, he wants a place where he doesn't need the armor. He wants to be able to sit down, take off the mask, and breathe. When he finds a woman who allows him to do that, who makes him feel accepted, even in his vulnerable moments, that's when his heart starts to open. It's not easy for men to show their softer side. Most men would rather suffer in silence than risk looking weak. But when a woman creates an environment where his feelings are respected, where his pain is not dismissed, where his dreams and fears are heard, he begins to trust her with parts of himself he hides from everyone else. That kind of trust is rare, and it becomes the soil where love grows. He doesn't fall in love because of what you look like. He falls in love because of how you make him feel when he's at his lowest. A man might be admired by the world, but if he doesn't feel safe with you, he won't give you his heart. He may smile in public, joke with friends, and look confident, but in private, he needs a space where he can fall apart without fear of being torn down. If a woman offers that space, she becomes more than just a partner. She becomes his refuge. That kind of connection is powerful because it goes deeper than attraction, deeper than chemistry. That becomes a connection that becomes impure, that becomes unlike, that becomes, it reaches the part of him that longs for rest. When a man feels emotionally safe, he begins to reveal his secrets, his mistakes, his struggles. He lets you in on the things he would never tell anyone else. That's when you see who he truly is, not just the image he shows to the world. And in that moment, love becomes real, because love isn't about perfection, it's about acceptance. When he sees that you accept him fully, not just the strong side, but the fragile side too, he knows he has found something worth holding on to. Emotional safety also inspires him to grow. A man who feels judged will shut down, but a man who feels supported will rise. He will chase bigger dreams. He will fight harder battles because he knows he has someone behind him who won't laugh at him if he stumbles. Instead of fear, he feels courage. Instead of shame, he feels strength. And that strength makes him love more fiercely because he sees that his love is being built in a safe place. Every man wants to feel like he can be a hero, but even heroes need somewhere to lay their heads. Emotional safety is that place. It's when a man knows he doesn't have to perform for you, he doesn't have to pretend, he doesn't have to carry the world all alone. He can be honest about his scars, his flaws, and his worries and still know you'll be there. That's the moment he realizes you're not just another woman in his life. You're the one he can't imagine living without. That's why men don't fall in love just because someone makes them laugh or look good on their arm. They fall in love when they feel emotionally safe, when they discover that being with you feels like freedom, not pressure. They fall in love when they know that in your presence, they can finally be who they are without fear. Trust is the glue that holds love together, and without it, everything falls apart. A man can admire your beauty. He can be drawn to your energy. He can even enjoy your company. But if there is no trust, he will never fully give you his heart. Men are naturally guarded with their emotions. They don't hand out their deepest feelings easily. They've been taught to protect themselves, to avoid looking vulnerable, and to keep control at all times. But when a man truly trusts a woman, that's when he starts to surrender in ways he never thought he would. That's when love becomes real. Trust doesn't happen overnight. It's not built on grand gestures. It's built in the small moments, the consistent actions, the reliability that proves I've got you. When a man sees that you keep your word, when he knows that his secrets are safe with you, when he feels that you won't betray him the moment he slips, he begins to open up. And once he opens up, he starts to connect to you in a deeper way. Trust is the doorway to intimacy, and without it, love never gets past the surface. For men, trust is tied to respect. If he trusts you, it's because he respects you enough to let his guard down. He doesn't have to worry about being judged, mocked, or exposed. He can share his fears, his failures, and his weaknesses, knowing you won't use him against him. That kind of safety allows him to see you not just as a partner, but as an anchor. And when a man finds that anchor, he's not looking to drift away. He's looking to hold on tighter because he knows how rare it is. The truth is, men often test trust without even realizing it. They'll watch how you react when they're vulnerable, how you respond when they fall short, how you carry yourself when you're upset. They're not just watching your words, they're watching your consistency. A man may not admit it, but he's measuring whether he can trust you with his heart, his vision, and even his flaws. When you pass that test, his love for you grows stronger because he knows he's safe. Trust also builds commitment. A man who doesn't trust you may stick around, but he won't plant roots. Keep a part of himself locked away, always ready to walk if he has to. But a man who trusts you, who knows you got his back no matter what, he plants those roots deep. He starts to make long-term decisions with you in mind. He begins to picture a future that includes you, not just a present moment that entertains him. Trust transforms interest into devotion. It's important to understand that trust is not about perfection. No man expects a woman to be flawless, just like no woman should expect a man to be flawless. Trust is about knowing that even when mistakes happen, loyalty doesn't waver. It's about knowing that someone is for you, not against you, even in hard times. When a man feels that loyalty, it makes him love with a level of intensity he never knew he had. Because love without loyalty is fragile, but love with trust becomes unbreakable. A man wants to know that you trust him too. He doesn't want to live under suspicion, constantly having to prove himself. When a woman shows trust in a man, it calls him higher. It makes him want to honor that trust, to protect it, and to make sure he never gives her a reason to doubt him. That responsibility shapes his choices, it strengthens his bond, and it makes him love her even more. Because men want to be trusted, but more than that, they want to be worthy of that trust. At the end of the day, trust is what allows love to grow without fear. A man doesn't fall in love because someone is perfect for him on paper. He falls in love because he feels safe enough to hand over his heart and believe it won't be broken. That's the power of trust. It's the quiet force that turns attraction into loyalty. And it's the foundation that makes a man love not just for a season, but for a lifetime. Men are wired with a sense of mission. Every man, no matter where he comes from or what he does, has a desire to feel like his life matters, like he's building something, like he's moving toward a goal. That purpose might be career, family, faith, or personal growth, but whatever it is, it drives him. And here's the truth. Men don't fall deeply in love with just beauty or charm. They fall in love when they meet a woman who understands that purpose and chooses to walk alongside it. When a man finds a partner who believes in his vision, it ignites something inside him. She doesn't have to do everything for him, but her support, her encouragement, and her faith in what he's chasing makes him feel unstoppable. It's not about money or status. It's about alignment. He wants to know that the woman beside him isn't fighting against his dream, but adding strength to it. When he feels that kind of partnership, his respect grows and his love follows right behind it. A man may meet plenty of women who are attractive, fun, or even caring, but if he feels like his purpose is constantly under attack, he won't stay. But when a woman adds to his purpose instead of subtracting from it, he starts to see her as part of the bigger picture. She becomes not just someone he spends time with, but someone he can imagine his journey without. That's the difference between passing attraction and lifelong love. Partnership doesn't mean losing yourself or sacrificing your own dreams. It means two people walking side by side, both supporting each other, both pushing each other toward greatness. When a man feels that energy, he gives back in ways that surprise even him. He works harder, he loves deeper, and he commits stronger because he knows he's not alone in the fight. That's why men don't fall in love with everyone they meet. They fall in love when they discover that rare woman who doesn't just fit into their life, but fits into their purpose. The one who pushes them to keep going, who cheers for them when they're tired, who believes in them even when they doubt themselves. That's the kind of woman who captures a man's heart forever. Men may chase, they may flirt, they may even act like they want everything easy. But the truth is, men don't fall in love with what comes too cheap. They fall in love when boundaries are set, when they know there are lines they cannot cross and standards they must rise to meet. Boundaries don't push a good man away, they pull him closer because boundaries teach him how to treat you. A man who really wants you will see your limits not as walls, but as a challenge to step up and prove himself. When a woman makes it clear what she will and will not accept, she shows her value without even saying a word. She's telling him, if you want me in your life, you're going to have to respect me, honor me, and give me your best. And a man who is serious will take that as motivation. He'll rise to the occasion because he knows he's dealing with someone who cannot be taken lightly. That's when love starts to grow because respect and effort become the foundation. Boundaries are not about being cold or difficult. They're about self-respect. They send a message that you know your worth and you're not willing to settle for less than you deserve. Men actually admire that, even if they don't admit it at first. Deep down, they know a woman who lets anything slide will never be treasured the way a woman with standards will. A man falls harder for the woman who makes him work because when he finally wins her trust, he knows it means something. A man will test those boundaries, sometimes on purpose, sometimes without thinking. But the moment he realizes you're consistent, that you mean what you say, that's when he starts to value you more. He sees you as rare, as different, as someone he cannot afford to lose. That respect turns into commitment, and that commitment turns into love. The truth is, boundaries don't scare the right man away.